Hi, good morning, Vanessa and Craig. Yeah, well, the start of the school year just a few days away. New York Attorney General Letitia James, as well as the Department of Education, want to remind everyone that migrant children have a right to free public education here in the state, same as every other student in the state. And all of this comes as many people continue to protest migrant shelters all across the city, including here on Staten Island. Now, last night, several dozen people showed up outside St. John Villa Academy on Staten Island, which is housing migrants, to speak out, many saying they don't want migrant shelters near their schools. Now, the protest comes as New York Attorney General Letitia James and the New York State Education Department Commissioner Rosa reminds people that every student has a right to a free public education in New York. That's for kids from 5 to 21, regardless of nationality or immigration status. The guidance reminds schools they cannot implement policies or requirements that would mean non-citizen or undocumented students, as well as students from families without a lease, from going to schools. Still, many protesters say they aren't comfortable with so many adult migrants living near schools. There are many around St. John Villa Academy, where we are here on Staten Island.
My son goes to school right here, so this is very, very important to me.
This has nothing to do with politics for me. I feel like we're being bullied. I feel like people that have an unknown background don't belong across the street from a school. For me, it's that simple.
Meantime, the city and state have been begging for help with the federal government on the migrant crisis. We've been reporting on that for more than a year. Yesterday, Homeland Security finally replied, saying the city could do better, actually, at handling the crisis, including saying where they could do better in 24 areas, including issues of authority, structure, personnel, and information flow. Plus, also on areas including data collection, planning, case management, communications, and other aspects of day-to-day operations.
I haven't read through the entire letter. This is an all hands on deck moment. We are going to continue to push for those things that are important.
So the letter does say that the federal government will allow about 800 migrants to stay in a hangar at JFK, and that the federal government is also looking and considering 11 other sites across the state for shelters for these asylum seekers. But of course, we know that with some of these areas being remote, it is difficult to convince migrants to move to them. We know right now that at last count, about 105,000 migrants have come to the city in the last year and a half or so, and about 60,000 of them are still in the city's care. That is the latest from Staten Island. Kieran Dillon, Pix 11 News.